Hello, everyone. My name is Luis Salcido, and I will be giving my presentation on physical ownership over digital. Now, I'm sure some of you have heard this phrase before. You will own nothing and be happy. More than likely, everyone here has some sort of subscription to a streaming service or a provider, either to Netflix to watch your favorite movies and TV show, or to a gaming site like PSN to play some of your favorite old games from your childhood. Well, with the rise of shady digital ownership practices, it's important to go back to our roots of owning physical media. We need to combat these services and truly own what we buy. When you buy something online, you don't own the thing you buy. You own the license to use it. What this means is that you are only given a you only own the permission that the provider gives you to access that piece of media. Since you don't actually own the thing you paid for, the only way to truly own anything is for it to be physical. Now, with the example of the PlayStation Store and Sony, the direct EULA states the software is licensed to you, not sold. Now, I personally play a lot of games through my PlayStation, and I buy a lot of games through the PlayStation Store online. However, if the server from PlayStation goes down, I cannot play any of the games that I digitally bought from the PlayStation Store. When it comes to streaming, what was once a convenient method of watching your favorite movies has largely turned into a predatory business that leeches off of your money and leaving you with no real legal alternative outside of pirating. Uh, these streaming services have basically lobbied companies to put their movies on these streaming services before putting it on DVD or Blu-ray. You don't have an alternative to watch these movies if you don't have the streaming service that it's on. However, though the sales of DVDs and CDs have gone down, they have started rising again over the years, making uh, CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays more viable alternative than simply pirating, especially if you want to support what it is that you buy. Now, circling back to the issue of licensing, your distributor who issues your license can take it away just as easily and quickly as you bought it. Using an example from Sony again, they have recently announced that they will remove over 500 movies from their library and from people's accounts. This can also cycle back to the business practices of streaming services like Netflix, who go through a cycle. Once a license runs out, that movie or TV show that they once had goes away, leaving the consumer who may have bought that subscription service to watch that specific show without an alternative again until another streaming service eventually puts it up, or they just pirate it. Now, what are some of the benefits for owning physical media? Well, you actually own what you buy. You can support the companies and people who made that media, and it can be used as a form of self-expression. You can display the boxes and CD cases of all of your favorite movies and TV shows and music as you see fit. Now, with it, there comes some minor setbacks, especially with convenience. Owning physical means it takes up a lot of physical space. Maybe your collection isn't as big as these streaming services. However, as I mentioned before, if with your physical collection, you actually own everything that you buy and you have unlimited access to it forever. So, in conclusion, the phrase "you will own nothing and be happy" is meant to be a warning, not a fact. It's not meant to foreshadow our future. It's meant to give us some sense of urgency to stop these companies from taking advantage of us so that we can actually own what we buy. Thank you.